Sigma INFJs bring a unique set of work-related traits to the table, making them valuable assets in various professional and educational settings. However, though they tend to be self-driven and self-motivated, this is not always the case, and it's not in a lazy way most may think. There's more to it, and what you are about to find out in this video will blow your mind and hopefully spark that drive back up again. Because sometimes, even the most insightful and perceptive individuals have their vices and hindrance, and Sigma INFJs are no exemption to this rule. Procrastination is one of them, and the reasons behind their tendency to delay tasks include perfectionist tendencies and 9 other factors we are about to get into in this video. One, Sigma INFJs, with their innate sense of precision and a meticulous eye for detail, embark on a perpetual quest for perfection in every endeavor. This desire for excellence, while an admirable trait, can sometimes manifest as a double-edged sword, resulting in what we might call perfectionist paralysis. This equivocal dilemma arises from the clash between the Sigma INFJ's vision of perfection and the reality of the creative process. The fear of falling short, of not meeting the lofty standards they set for themselves, can be paralyzing. It's not just a desire for excellence, it's a quest for an ideal that sometimes seems elusive. This perfectionist mindset transforms the act of initiation into a complex dance of doubt and meticulous contemplation. The Sigma INFJ might find themselves caught in a cycle of self-evaluation. Keep in mind that this isn't just about crossing the T's and dotting the I's. It's a meticulous crafting of each step, an insistence that every detail align flawlessly with the grand vision. The canvas remains blank, the document untouched, until the Sigma INFJ feels confident that they can embark on the creative journey without compromising their standards. 2. More times than not, Sigma INFJs find themselves lost in trying to navigate the abyss between vision and reality. This idealistic lens through which they view the world is both a source of inspiration and a potential stumbling block, as it introduces a profound dilemma known as overwhelming idealism. Just as it suggests, this idealism can become a daunting challenge. The enormity of their dreams, the weight of the expectations they set for themselves, can cast a shadow of doubt. The fear of falling short, of not reaching the lofty summits they've envisioned, begins to creep in. However, this is not a fear of failure in the conventional sense. It's a fear of failing their own aspirations, a fear of not living up to the standards they've set for themselves. The Sigma INFJ, caught in this quandary, finds themselves standing on the precipice of action, hesitant to take the plunge into the abyss between their idealized vision and the stark reality of execution. The risk of falling short seems too great, and in this fear, procrastination takes root. The Sigma INFJ may find solace in delaying the start, as if postponing the confrontation with the gap between their ideals and the incremental steps required to achieve them. 3. As Sigma INFJs, the trait of being analytical thinkers takes center stage, guiding their minds through the network of possibilities. This analytical prowess, while a formidable strength, can morph into a challenging phenomenon known as analysis paralysis. Linked to, yet distinct from, the perfectionist paralysis, this state unveils a perpetual cycle of overthinking that weaves its way into the fabric of decision-making. In this state, decisions become elusive, and tasks linger in a limbo of potential outcomes. The Sigma INFJ, caught in the web of overthinking, may find themselves immobilized, unable to initiate tasks due to the overwhelming complexity they perceive. The fear of making the wrong decision, of overlooking a critical detail, becomes a formidable barrier to progress. Moreover, the link to perfectionist paralysis is evident. The meticulous analysis becomes a means to ensure that every decision aligns flawlessly with the Sigma INFJ's high standards. It's not just about understanding, it's about understanding perfectly. The analytical capability, intended to be a guiding light, transforms into a potential hindrance. 4. This one may come as a shocker to some, or even a little bit ironic, as Sigma types aren't afraid of conflict if the situation presents itself. However, in the light of work or getting things done, especially if that work or tasks involves other, hard-to-deal-with people. Lost you? Okay. So, imagine a scenario where a task or project involves navigating the waters of disagreement or uncomfortable interactions. The Sigma INFJ, attuned to the emotional currents in their surroundings, may sense the potential for conflict, not wanting to deal with that headache. In such instances, rather than diving headfirst into the turbulence, they may instinctively opt for a detour, a procrastination detour. However, it's important that the aversion to confrontation isn't rooted in a lack of courage, but rather in the desire to shield themselves and others from emotional discomfort. The prospect of conflict can be emotionally taxing for Sigma INFJs. The delayed tackling of tasks isn't a sign of indifference or irresponsibility either, but rather a calculated decision to navigate the delicate balance between maintaining harmony and addressing the potentially tumultuous aspects of a situation. The Sigma INFJ, with their acute sensitivity to emotional nuances, understands that some issues require a nuanced approach, and procrastination becomes a temporary shield against the potential emotional turbulence. 5. As introverts, Sigma INFJs thrive in solitude and require ample time for introspection and recharging. The demands of external tasks can be draining, leading them to postpone activities that may disrupt their need for tranquility and self-reflection. That said, the demands of external tasks can disrupt this delicate equilibrium. Meetings, social obligations, and the relentless pace of external engagements act as a drain on their energy reserves. Faced with the looming specter of potential exhaustion, the Sigma INFJ, as a proactive measure, may resort to postponing certain activities. This isn't a mere procrastination tactic, it's a strategic move to safeguard their energy for endeavors that align with their core needs. To understand this dynamic, imagine a delicate ecosystem within, where ideas, emotions, and reflections flourish in the hushed corridors of their mind. External demands, like gusts of wind, can disrupt this delicate ecosystem, necessitating a retreat to the inner sanctuary to restore balance. The postponement of tasks becomes a conscious effort to shield the internal landscape from potential disturbances. 6. While maintaining a broad perspective, Sigma INFJs also pay meticulous attention to detail. This combination of macro and micro thinking allows them to ensure the quality and precision of their work. The combination of macro and micro thinking within the Sigma INFJ mind is akin to a dual lens, where the broad strokes of their vision are complemented by an unwavering focus on the minutiae. It's not a dichotomy, but a seamless integration, a dance between panoramic views and microscopic scrutiny that defines their unique cognitive landscape. But achieving the level of precision Sigma INFJs aim for in their work can be time-consuming. When faced with tasks that demand an intricate level of detail, they may find it challenging to allocate sufficient time, leading to procrastination as they postpone starting the task until they believe they can dedicate the necessary time and focus. 7. Sigma INFJs are flexible individuals who can adapt to changing circumstances. Their open-mindedness and willingness to embrace new ideas make them assets in dynamic and evolving work environments. What sets Sigma INFJs apart is not just their capacity to weather storms. Their open-mindedness becomes a compass, guiding them through uncharted territories and unexplored possibilities. However, this abundance of perspectives can create a sense of overwhelm, making it challenging to settle on a specific course of action and resulting in procrastination as they navigate through the options. Moreover, the adaptability of Sigma INFJs involves a certain level of risk assessment and consideration of potential outcomes. In situations where the consequences of a decision are unclear or where the risk of making the wrong choice is high, they may procrastinate as a means of avoiding potential mistakes. The fear of making an imperfect adaptation can paralyze them from initiating tasks. 8. Sigma INFJs are driven by their inner values and passions. When faced with tasks that do not align with their personal values or lack a deeper purpose, they may struggle to find the intrinsic motivation needed to overcome procrastination. Intrinsic motivation is the force that propels them forward. igniting their passion and commitment. When this intrinsic connection is absent, the Sigma INFJ may find themselves adrift, struggling to summon the internal drive needed to conquer procrastination and initiate the task at hand. Furthermore, tasks that feel incongruent with their values or lack a deeper purpose become like anchor weights, impeding progress and sapping the enthusiasm that typically propels Sigma INFJs forward. The procrastination isn't a sign of laziness, but a signal that the task lacks the resonance needed to stir their intrinsic motivation. 9. Sigma INFJs value thoughtful reflection and may intentionally delay tasks to allow time for deep contemplation. While this introspective approach can yield insightful results, it can also contribute to procrastination if not balanced with a sense of urgency. The danger lies in allowing the contemplative phase to stretch indefinitely, creating a void between ideation and action, meaning the danger lies in allowing the contemplative phase to stretch indefinitely. While the Sigma INFJ immerses themselves in the tranquil waters of reflection, the external world continues to flow, and the clock ticks on. 10. Due to their desire to make a meaningful impact, Sigma INFJs may find themselves taking on too many responsibilities. However, this commendable pursuit can become a hindrance, leading to the formidable challenge of overcommitment and burnout. Driven by a genuine desire to create positive change, Sigma INFJs may find it challenging to decline opportunities or responsibilities that align with their values. This inclination to say yes can lead to a cumulative effect, where the sheer volume of tasks exceeds their capacity for sustainable engagement. The result? An overwhelming burden that threatens to extinguish the very passion that fueled their initial commitment. Burnout becomes a lurking adversary, and procrastination emerges as a subconscious means of self-preservation. The Sigma INFJ, aware of the mounting pressure, may involuntarily delay tasks as a protective mechanism, a way of signaling that the current pace is unsustainable.